Pistol, the black gatekeepers, like the Devon Nine, the Boulets, the NAACP, the Black Caucus, Roland Martin, Whoopi Goldberg, Al Sharpton, Obama, Kamala. Oh, I could go on. Jasmine Crockett. I can go on. See, the white racist man that been signing y'all paycheck to be the gatekeepers of black people, the gate is open now. That's why y'all mad, because it's over. Y'all thought y'all was going to have us for 200 years, but y'all want to call Clarence Thomas a bootlicker and a sellout. But y'all going to give all the people that I just named a pass. These people get paid to keep your brains in shackles so that white man that they work for, that sign their check, can stay rich while we be divided. See? I'd rather trust my good white folks before I trust any of you black fucking sellouts. Yeah. The gatekeepers, the ones that stand by the gate to make sure the plantation is going right. It's over. And they say it ain't over till the fat lady sing. God damn it, she sang already. It's over. The Supreme Court made their decision. If you don't like it, too damn bad. All that scared tactics and all that fear mongering, that shit don't work no more. Because we know who you are. We know who signed your paycheck and tell you to say these things to keep our brains in shackles. It's over.
Hello. How is everyone doing? Welcome. If you agree with this very intelligent young woman, please, by all means, type a 1 in the comment section. She basically is saying what we all have said. We know what these people have been doing. Come on. Nothing new to see here. Yes, my girls, Baldwin Birds. Yeah, I will do the roll call momentarily. As you enter the chat, do me one small favor. If you will, hit that little thumb. That is the like button. That tells YouTube you are happy, you are enjoying this content. This lady, I've shared her videos from TikTok before, and she's been on one a long time. Tyles Howard, how you doing? All right, come on in. If you are new here, let us know so we can give you a nice, warm Rollins Reviews welcome. Okay, there's an encore. My girls is saying, play it again. Okay, deserves an encore. I'm channeling my inner Cheryl Lynn. Oh my goodness. Hello. I'll do the roll call and then I will play this again. This warrants being heard because Sometimes, folks, and I know some people may be like, we've heard it already. Sometimes people join the chat late and they're lost, they're confused, they're like, what's going on? And when you hear something this important, it's good to hear it again. I love it. Let's go ahead. Let me say hello to everyone. And I know some people are like, get to it. No, if you are here, you're very important. There are thousands of content creators. You're spending your time here. This is our channel, plural. This is not my channel. We are a family. And I will acknowledge everyone who joins the live chat. That's just how I operate. And so the people who are really important, they still come back every live stream, so it doesn't bother them. My girls, of course, and Tina, they're trying to help me hold the channel together. Thank God. Big Cat, how are you doing, Big Cat? Dorian, hello. Jermaine, where have you been, dear? How you doing? Dorian is here. Towles Howard, let us know if you're new here. I've already spoken to Baldwin Birds. Cat Kasink, oh my God, I'm seeing, this feels like a blast from the past. I have a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Cecilia's back with us. Thank God Cecilia's back. Thank you, my girls, for telling me to play that again. Now that more people are joining, I sure will. Let's listen to this lady. Melody, if you've been here for a while, yes, Cecilia, we're always glad you're here, dear. That I've played her videos before. She's a no-nonsense woman, and she tells people where to go. Greg, how you doing, love? I didn't forget about you. I know Greg will get on to me. Hey, you didn't call my name. Greg, how are you doing? Gina is here. How are you doing, Gina? Oh my goodness, the gang is all back. We're getting the band back to what? Together. All right, Gina, glad you could make it, love. Where else are we? I think I got it. If I missed you, just say, hey, what about me? Let me say hello to her. I think Towles Howard is new here, I think. I'm just gonna type half your name so I can move forward, okay? Good, Greg. See, I didn't forget you. Tarakin, how are you doing? All right. We have gotten the band back together. And so I'm going to play this clip again. And, when I play clips, I try to be very strategic with the clips that I share with you. Caesar, how you doing, love? Because, we need to, which we are aware, we're cognizant of what's going on, but we still never need to let our guard down. Let's listen to what she's saying. She knows about the gatekeepers, the race hustlers that we've talked about. Yeah, high patriots. Exactly, Gina. That's what we are. And we're ready to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. Boom. The race hustlers, of course, are telling Black people not to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. They are telling Black people to have a separate celebration for their time in this country. Let the race hustlers go over there. I am not about divisiveness. Towles Howard, not new. I have been a quiet listener. Okay, Towles, since you've been a quiet listener, tell us how you are enjoying this information, dear. Everyone listen to this. We have about 25 people in here now. So let's listen up. Hold on. Let me get, I'll get the volume straight. And you tell me. And again, we all may not, have the same thought process. We're all independent thinkers here. Thank God. We're not liberal. And so if you feel differently about something, hey, that is fine. But we're going to listen to this now.
Boy, I tell you, those black boulets, they are pissed off. The black gatekeepers, like the Devon Nine, the boulets, the NAACP, the Black Caucus, Roland Martin, Whoopi Goldberg, Al Sharpton, Obama, Kamala. Oh, I could go on. Jasmine Crockett. I can go on. See, the white racist man that been signing y'all paycheck to be the gatekeepers of Black people, the gate is open now. That's why y'all mad, because it's over. Y'all thought y'all was gonna have us for 200 years, but y'all want to call Clarence Thomas a bootlicker and a sellout. But y'all gonna give all the people that I just named a pass. These people get paid to keep your brains in shackles, so that white man that they work for, that sign they check, can stay rich while we be divided. See? I'd rather trust my good white folks before I trust any of you black fucking sellouts. Yeah. You know, the gatekeepers, the ones that stand by the gate to make sure the plantation is going right. It's over. And they say it ain't over till the fat lady sing. God damn it, she sang already. It's over. The Supreme Court made their decision. If you don't like it, too damn bad. All that scared tactics and all that fear mongering, that shit don't work no more. Because we know who you are. We know who signed your paycheck and tell you to say these things to keep our brains in shackles. It's over.
Okay, tell me, because I know a lot of you were here and you didn't hear it the first time. Kasink said, this sister is speaking facts. Boom. I found nothing wrong with what she said. Escape from the planet of the dummy. My girl said, period. Eco, how you doing? They better not tell us Kamala Harris is running for president. Oh, Eco, I did a video on that when she was at the National Action Network's conference. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking about it again. Please do. I mean, you think you lost horribly last time. Oh, my God. You will be shellacked into oblivion. So I love it. T. Lawrence. And we know she's just talking. They're not, she blew what, 1.2 billion? They're not giving her that kind of money again. That won't happen. So if they, obviously they like losing. If they get behind her, hey, I'm all for it. I'll keep doing videos. We'll keep laughing, having a good time. Tarekin said no to the Curry Queen. Boom. Caesar, yes. God knows the civil rights generation. God bless them. But what can we do? They're dying every day. They're still stuck in the 60s with the civil rights bill. So, hey, it is what it is. My girls, did you hear about the old black woman that got into a fight with yes, she died. Yes, my girls. People don't have respect. Oh, who would fight an old person? I mean, that doesn't sound like a fair fight to me. But these young people are so undisciplined. They're so unhinged. They feel good. It makes them feel tough. Oh, yeah, let AOC, any of these people, let them run. They will never, ever win again. T. Lawrence said, follow the money. Yes. Let's look at this title, folks. Dems are saying they're broke for midterms and debt. Yeah, Gina, the house of cards is falling in, and I love it. And all I can say is, thank God, the evil empire is crumbling. And so let me see, make sure I didn't miss a comment. My girls, are we talking about the same incident? Let me know. Tell me what happened. Oh, that's another. Okay. Yeah, I need to check on that one. There was a video that popped up in my feed. I didn't look at it yet, but I will. Thank you, my girls. Yeah, because see, anyone that they don't have anyone that could take the presidency. Lord Tarakin, those are my thoughts exactly. So let me know what you think about, and you know this lady, oh my God. She tears him a new one. And if you like the way she talks, this is her info on TikTok. So if you want to follow her, I thought I was following her. There we go. You can look the way, if you like what she said there, she's got plenty more. Plenty more. And she does not mince words. I love it. So hit that like button for me, folks. Also, if you don't mind, hey, share the content out. The more, the merrier. if you look at President Trump endorsed 39 and 39 won so far. Yeah, they're learning. You go against Trump, you're out of here. And at least he's finding out who's on his side, whether it's genuine or not. They know. They bet they have to toe the line. Yes, we are. It happened in my home. My girls. Okay. Oh my goodness. Tell me more, my girls. And I try to keep up with everything going on, but you know that's a daunting task. But all I can say is I love what's going on. I don't want it to stop. My girls, who was at fault? Tell me who was at fault, dear. So again, I think I may have seen it popped up in my feed, but I have not had an opportunity to actually watch it. So give me a brief synopsis. Thank God. So the first Trump presidency, you know, he wasn't, you know, he didn't know all of the people who were phonies. This time around, he's getting them out of get out of here. So yeah, he's making them toe the line. It's not in the way that you hold me. It's not in the way you say you care. Ooh. Not in the way you look at things. Oh my God. Toe the line. Love isn't always on time. My voice is leaving. Whoa, whoa, whoa. One of my favorite Toto songs. Hold the line. The old lady was pissed about her order. She went to the restaurant, was arguing with one employee, and another told her to leave, but she pushed her. Oh my God. That old woman was unhinged. Now, old people shouldn't be going around. Did she have dementia or something? Oh my God. Yeah, because lots of times we find out old people, they have some cognitive stuff going on when they get unhinged. I heard that President Trump told House Speaker Johnson attached the Save America Act to every. Yeah, because he's going to get it together. All right, let me cue up the next video for you. I'm going to take this one down. And like I said, everything is coming out. I love it. This is good stuff. Now, one thing you've heard me talking about recently. Oh, okay, my girl. Thank you, my girl. My girl's is giving me a brief synopsis here. Thank you, dear. She's probably sounds like she may have had some dementia or Alzheimer's, because sometimes when the elderly start, I've seen it, when they start having some cognitive issues, whoo, you start seeing some behavior totally unbecoming, and you're like, whoa. So what I love about the recent SCOTUS decision, the Democrats are continuing to implode. They are continuing to turn on each other. And that's the best part about it. And if you look at the title, the Congressional Black Caucus, we've already discussed, they are losing it. They know their days are numbered. How you doing, Copper Granny? You're back, dear. You told me you were coming back. How are you? So let's look at this. Now, now make it make sense. The Democrats, I'm going to show this video and I'm going to tell you what I think. Give you my review. So the Congressional Black Caucus, the NAACP, advocating for the Democrats. Everything is based off race with these people. But they're always telling us it's the Republicans. It's Trump. They're the racists. They've made everything about race. So this Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So, hey, so much for the Black American and Jewish alliance. Boom. So these Congressional Black Caucus members, all of the Black people in the Democratic Party. Now, I digress. Remember the video I did in Texas when Jasmine Crockett went up against the white man? What happened? Barack Obama, the gold standard for the Democratic Party, and the Democrats supported the white man after they had her out here acting crazy and ghetto. So what did the black people in her district say? Okay, we're not supporting him. So they are continuing to implode. Greg, they need to chime in our live chat. We canceled the race card. The victimhood is gone. Tarakin, yeah. So they're upset. No, we need to have a black person. So everything is about race. Isn't that what they tell us that the Republicans do? And so basically what they're saying to Debbie Wasserman, you're Jewish, you need to go and represent people in a Jewish district. Yes, T. Lawrence. Go to the Jewish district. Jews can't represent us blacks. Blacks are entitled to black representation. Well, newsflash. You've heard me talk about this forever. Yes, black people had those seats. They didn't represent any black people. The only thing they did was shield for the Democrats. Someone tell me I'm wrong. Skin color with no pop, none, zero, zilch, nada, Tina, yes. How you doing, Dorian? Copper Granny, that boom put my dog in attack mode. Copper! Okay, let me give you the screen. All right. We don't want Copper Granny's dog in attack mode. So listen to this, and then we're going to discuss it. So they're continuing to implode. I love it. Let me put the closed captioning on for you as well. There we go. Okay.
Official on Friday. She will be running in Congressional District 20.
Oh, before I let this continue, she was told not to run, to try. Now, you know, she's trying to get the seat of Sheila Cherfilus, the one who was under indictment. And I'll bring that. Some of you may have forgotten. Don't worry. I did a video on that, but for those that don't know, Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick, yeah, just keep listening. I'm going to play a short or something so you remember what she did.
Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for re-election in Congressional District 20 because we cannot let Trump destroy Broward County's power.
The district encompasses the heart of the black community in Broward County, stretching from Plantation to Deerfield Beach and from Sunrise to Oakland Park. 40% of the district is African American and has been represented by black leaders for more than 30 years.
So therein lies the problem. The devil is in the details. So you have all these black Congressional Caucus members saying, we want a black person in this seat. And they warned Debbie Wasserman not to run for the seat. Well, she's running for the seat. So Caesar, yes. Oh my God. I love it. And so now they're saying she's a backstabber. They're just continuing to eat their own like the alligators and crocodiles, right? I love it. And Copper Granny says, let me see what Copper Granny says. Is that the one who did the fraud? Copper Granny. Yes, don't worry. I'm going to bring it back to your memory. And then she says, I'm innocent. And then she says she's running for office in November if she's not in jail. All right, let's continue.
As you might imagine, the announcement elicited strong reactions from some in the black community.
I have spoken to people who I trust in DC that this was always her plan. So the conversations were performative. So it tells black voters in Broward that she's performative.
So again, everything with these people is based on race. Notice you will never hear anyone talk about merit. You will never hear any of these people talk about job performance. It's all race-based. Someone type in the comments section who the Democrats are always saying is race-based. Tube Steak, how you doing? Wasserman said, hold my beer to the black folk. Yeah, so the Democrats so this is continuing to divide the party, which is good. All right. I love it. Just listen.
And so is her alleged allyship.
Black representation is a non-negotiable for me.
See, they have to be Black. Doesn't that sound discriminatory to you? Right? Why do they have to be Black? Why can't we choose someone who can do the job? My girls, the face on the screen is a DEI hire lost in her own ignorance. That's what I'm saying. Why do they have to be Black? We've had Black representation for 60 plus years. Go look at what the Black representation has done. The Black communities in their areas have gotten poorer and poorer and poorer. They are there representing the Democratic Party. So stop it.
Everyone deserves to have a seat at the table, and everyone deserves to be represented by someone who with their lived experience.
This is what drives me crazy. These people are telling lies. They had people in those seats that were Black. They didn't represent their constituents. How do I need to pull up some of my old videos? Benny Johnson, he goes to these districts, right? Remember, he went to what's old ghetto city girl's name? Jasmine Crockett, her Dallas district, one of the worst. Go to Jim Clyburn's district in South Carolina. It was poor. He's been there 30 plus years. It's poorer now. So yeah, you have a Black person in that seat listening to what the slave master tells them to do to keep you voting for Democrats. So stop it. So these Black people are lost. You did not have representation, ma'am and sir. You had Black people occupying seats. They did nothing for the people that voted for them. So stop it.
But after Ron DeSantis' redistricting efforts, District 20 was likely the safest seat for Wasserman Schultz to run in. Shortly after her announcement, I spoke to her from Washington.
All right, so tell me what you think, folks, as I get rid of the commercial. My girls, exactly. Oh, we need Black. You haven't had Black representation forever. You had Black people who had seats. That's it. They were shilling for the Democratic Party. They did what the Democratic Party told them to do. They did not represent you, so stop it. You can't be that dumb.
I am running for District 20 because I have represented Broward County for my entire adult life. I have fought for and been the tip of the spear on the major issues, especially when it comes to fighting to make life more affordable for the people of Broward. And I'm just not going to stand by and let Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump try to destroy Broward's power. And I want to continue to be able to stand up for the people of our community and fight for them. And District 20, a district that I have represented over the 3 legislative bodies I've served in, 9 of the 14 cities, is the district where I can make sure that there is the most experienced, the most well-known, and the person that I am who has been immersed in the community for decades is able to be in a strongest possible position to fight for our community.
So this is what I was saying earlier. Yes, Caesar, I agree. She's been there. She has years and years of experience, but her skin's not Black. Aren't the Democrats always talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion? Maybe I got mixed up. Someone talk to me. Caesar, she's even wearing her hair to appeal to Black people. Tina Marie style. Caesar, she's wasting her time. They are livid. They are angry. They're accusing her of being a backstabber. They're not going to vote for her because she's not Black. That sounds like discrimination to me. Yes, they can be that dumb. That's why they keep running the same game, expecting different results. Yes, my girls, you can see it clearly. I can see it clearly. Dorian can see it clearly. Beverly, how you doing? She can see it clearly. This drives me absolutely insane. You know what I mean? Hit the like button for me, please, folks. I appreciate that. And it won't cost you anything. All right, here we go.
But you know what the criticism is going to be. This is a district that for more than 3 decades have been...
This is the lady I think you were asking about, Copper Granny. Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick. Yes, when we're done with this, don't worry. I have some videos pulled up on TikTok. And yeah, this is the lady, the crook. Yeah.
Represented by an African-American, either Alcee Hastings and then Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick.
Yeah, ask what they've done. They're calling them African-American. Ask what they've done for the people in their districts. Zero, zilch, nada. But they have those seats.
McCormick represented the majority of the people in this district. This is considered an African-American leaning seat. I think 40% of the residents are African-American. And the idea is that you will be taking away potential Black representation in Congress.
I keep saying there was no Black representation. You had Black people that had seats. There was no representation. Does everyone understand what I'm saying? Tina, it's driving me insane. Zelly, how you doing? I'm sorry I keep stopping it, but I'm getting upset. We had no representation. So stop it. American of color, help your mother, descendant of the mitochondrial Eve, African ancestry and origin. I don't know what that is. Okay. I don't have time to read all that. Zelly. Good. Vicky, how are you doing, dear? Does everyone understand what I'm saying about there was no representation? You had Black people placed in those seats so that the Democratic slave master used these Black people to keep Black people enslaved mentally. That's the one with the big expensive Tina, among other things. Yes. All right, here we go.
How do you respond?
Jim, I represent a minority district now. And everything that I have done in the years that I have represented this community has had me fully immersed in the neighborhoods and communities of Broward County. The people in District 20 know me and I know them. I am an everywhere, all the time elected official. People know I show up for them. I show up at festivals and 5Ks and church services and in communities with the smallest and the largest crowds. And right now, especially because this district has had so much instability over the last few years. I mean, first after my mentor and like family, Alcee Hastings passed away, Ron DeSantis had the audacity to leave this district open for 10 months before a special.
T. Lawrence gets it. Yes. T. Lawrence, do you understand what I mean when I say there was no Black representation? You had Black people in those seats. They did not represent Black people. They did not represent most of their constituents. They just had seats. And the Democrats, look, we're the party of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Look, we have Black people, which they have placed strategically. Look, we have more Black people. The conservatives and Republicans don't really have that many Black people. I don't care what color you are. Again, they don't talk about qualifications. It just has to be someone that's Black. If it were a conservative saying that, oh my God, the world would end. Tina, they'll keep using Black people as long as they can. I'm hoping all Black people wake up. Tina, we can only pray. They did nothing. Copper Granny, yes. They had seats. So again, with the Democrats, it's about tokenism and symbolism. I don't need that in my life. Thank you, my girls. Go talk to all of the illegals and talk about the billions of dollars that the Democrats gave them. But who do they come to when they want votes? Black people. They'll never get my vote. Never, ever get my votes. Okay? I don't vote for evil. Michael, how you doing? Roland, do you remember those hard white bottom market shoes? Yes, I do. Yes, I do, Mike. How you doing? Don't believe anything they say. Right, Zully. No freaking way, okay? No. That's why I'm livid, because when I hear Black people, oh, we won't have you didn't have any representation. Stop being stuck on stupid. Oh.
Election happened. And then there was a cloud over this district for the last couple of years, and he's going to leave it likely open again all the way until next January. This is a district, and our community needs an experienced champion who can fight for them every single day. I am the most senior member of the Democratic member of the Florida delegation. I'm a senior member of the House Appropriations Committee. I am the ranking member of a subcommittee in appropriations, making me at the leadership table of appropriations. I am a co-chair of Hakeem Jeffries' steering and policy committee,
and Hakeem Jeffries is upset with her too. They did not want her to run for this seat. So listen to all of her accolades and all of this experience, but they told her, no, do not run for this seat. We need a Black person in that seat. Now you tell me that's right. Does that sound like something godly to you? That sounds evil. That sounds demonic. That sounds divisive. Yes, the devil incarnate. Yes. Oh my God. My girls, they're always stuck on stupid because they refuse to think for themselves. That's the problem. Old Town, how you doing? 30 billion spent in 2025 for illegal immigrants, all while the rest of us still paycheck to paycheck. Immigrants prospering off of my hard labor due to Democrat policies in California. Old Town gets it. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Michael, not the Jerry curl. Not Michael. Boom. Not the Jerry curl. I can't with this.
I am at the leadership table with him and my other leadership team members every single week, making decisions and making sure that I can bring the needs and goals and values of Broward County and District 20 to the leadership decision-making table. And when Democrats win the majority, which we will and we must, I will be sitting right next to Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, making sure that our needs in Broward County and in District 20 are at the top of the national priority.
Let me jump in because earlier this month, I interviewed and spoke to State Senator Rosalind Osgood. And this was when it was speculated that you may run in this district. And this is what she said to me. We don't want it to be her legacy that she remains in Congress by disenfranchising the Black community. We want to have someone with our lived experience representing us in Congress.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Give me a moment. I can't with these people. Okay. I just can't. I'm trying. It's hard. I'm sick of these lies. I can't with these people. Someone say a quick prayer for me. So you're Jewish. You can't represent us. Does that sound like diversity, equity, and inclusion? Does that sound like affirmative action? What does that sound like to you? Type it in the comments. I can't with these people, so I have to keep pausing it. So, I mean, that sounds crazy to me. The same people who claim that, we need to get past race in America. We need to get past Jim Crow. What does it sound like they're doing to you? I mean, maybe I'm a little bit slow. Someone explain it. Sounds like to me they're fighting for segregation. How you doing, Lala? Yes, Lala, how you doing, dear? Lala, I'm losing my stuff up here, Lala, because I don't like the BS that they're putting out here. Democrats only care about punishing Republicans and pushing Black victimhood, LGBTQ. You got it. That's it. They're fighting for segregation. Her community have helped push division, being opportunistic. Is it right, Lala? Yes. But Lala, I don't know if you know this, the Congressional Black Caucus, she was warned not to try and run for this seat because they wanted a Black person. So I'm showing the hypocrisy, right? And remember, the Democratic Party said there was a party switch. That was BS. We know that. The Democrats are the same people who tried to keep Black people in slavery. This time with the illegals, they kept saying, these are our people. They tried to keep them here. Thank God Trump and Homan has started to get these people out of here. So when it comes to the Black district, they're totally fine with racism and discrimination, hate, bigotry, segregation. All of that's fine when they're doing it. Everyone see what I'm talking about? Okay, Marga, you're fine, dear. So it has to be a Black person? Has anyone, maybe I missed it, has anyone heard anyone say anything about qualifications, anything like that? Someone who could actually do the job. So they're all saying no, 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 no to this white Jewish woman. She can't run for this seat. She can't represent Black people. Well, newsflash, maybe she can. The Black people who've been in Congress for 60 plus years and the other Democrats, they haven't done anything for the people that keep voting for them. Tina, 100% segregated. Tina gets it. Yes. Yes. Can everyone understand what I'm saying? Black victimhood has become co-opted by wealthy white gays using blackface to push white propaganda, ideology, and division. White liberals rebranded woke. Remember that? Lala's coming in, dropping some nuggets here. Yes, Lala. Tina, yes, she needs to sue them for discrimination. I see and understand what you're talking about, beloved. Remove political lines and spot the exploitation. Remember, we watched a documentary exposing AIPAC. That group's afraid of Black voters. Yet Lala is dropping nuggets. Keep on, Lala. Yes. Tina, yes, they need to be sued for discrimination and racism. Do you think if the Republicans were doing this, you think they would let that slide? Heck no. So I'm just saying, there has been Black representation is a pipe dream. It has been an illusion. There has been no Black representation. Someone tell me I'm wrong. And then in the comment section, give me an example, because I haven't seen any. So, what this woman, what they were saying, Black people, and I'm going to finish playing the video. I just keep stopping it because every time they talk, I can't. Right, Zully? Tina, that's it. Skin color. It has to be someone Black. Tina, you were here when I did the video, when the mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina, left office. And what did the people there, what did the head of the NAACP say? What did she say the person who took her seat had to be? These are the biggest racists around. Oh.
We want little Black boys and little Black girls to see somebody that looks like them so they can dream. How do you respond to that?
I have been all over this district, and I have reached out and been speaking to now over 100 people. I've been out in the community, and the feedback that I'm getting is that, first, the people in this district know me. They know I'm a fighter, and they know what my experience is, and they know that what they've been through in the last few years. They have told me we can't afford to have a beginner, just start out in the United States Congress.
So again, she has years of experience, and before some of you who are just joining her, she talked about all of her accolades. They would rather have a person, as long as their skin is Black, no experience, no nothing, but they're Black. Get out of here.
We have to have somebody who we know, who has already been fighting for us, and who can make sure that they can continue to bring home results. I have spent years, decades, getting to know and working with people in the Black community. They know and trust me, and that's the feedback that I've been getting all in the last few weeks since this illegal redistricting.
This does come at a time when, because of the Supreme Court decision in Calais, that you're seeing southern states move quickly to try to chop up and eliminate Democratic seats, many of them held by African Americans. It's likely that the Congressional Black Caucus, the numbers in the Congressional Black Caucus, are going to be much smaller in the next Congress, regardless of what Democratic wins there are. So I'm curious if in the course of doing these deliberations about this, if you had conversations with Hakeem Jeffries, with members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and what they told you about the prospect of you going into a seat that has traditionally, for the last 3 decades, been held by an African American.
All right, this feels
okay. Let me read what Lala said. Zully said she is a liar, a thief, one of the most richest women in Congress, more than Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, they're all full of it. White Democrats have used blacks for so long that they don't care what they say and do to blacks, a la, you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. Boom. You got it. You all are really dropping some truth bombs in this comment section. I love it. I love the dialogue that we're having.
Yes, I have. I am very close with my CBC colleagues, and obviously close with Leader Jeffries as a member of his leadership team. And we all know, and we're all outraged. This is a very sensitive time. This is a very difficult, outrageous time. The decision made by the Supreme Court in the Calais decision, it really was unacceptable. And when Democrats win the majority, we're going to pass legislation to ensure that we can have, we can prohibit mid-decade redistricting, so that we can ensure that we have fair redistricting that people can count on, and that people's voices are not intentionally silenced, as Republicans have done here.
But did anyone in the Congressional Black Caucus I'm say to you not to run?
No, none of them asked me not to run.
She is a liar. They told her they wanted a black person in that seat. She is not telling the truth.
What the leadership, what Hakeem Jeffries and my CBC colleagues told me is that, they know I know our community, and Leader Jeffries trusts Democrats to be able to know our communities well enough to have reached out, done the important outreach necessary to be able to make the decisions that we need to be able to make on how we can most effectively represent our community.
I do want to move on to some other issues, but a last question on this with regard to the decision in 20. Again, I go back to the statement that Rosalind Osgood and others have made, that really the only way that someone can truly represent the African-American community in needs is someone who has their shared lived experience. Obviously, you do not have their shared lived experience. How will you be able to try to convince them that that's not an issue for you going forward?
Because I have been in the community, for decades already. I show up and I make sure that the representation that I provide is one that is not token, it's not surface level, it is deep and immersive. And in the conversations that I've had, which I made sure that I had all across this district before I made a final decision, the feedback that I've been getting is that they know me, they support me, they know for sure that they don't want to start with a beginner who would be just trying to staff up and figure out, just the basics of, what their job is. When I have been there, I'm a senior member of the United States Congress, and I know how to get things done across the aisle, as well as, and especially when it comes to making sure that we can bring resources home. But the people in this district have given me strong feedback that they want an experienced friend who has been there for them over and over, and they want me to in there fighting for them, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
Let me ask you about the fund that Trump and Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche created to compensate individuals who believe they were politically persecuted, about $1.8 billion. What's your reaction to this?
This is a monument. This proposal and plan by Trump to create a January 6th slush fund, a weaponization slush fund, is the epitome of the culture of corruption that is so deeply embedded in the Trump administration and in Washington now, led by him. I mean, I had a colleague yesterday suggest on the Republican side of the aisle that he was going to apply for funds from this fund. This is because Donald Trump wants to make sure that he can line the pockets of people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, tried to overturn the results of a legitimate election, attacked law enforcement, some of whom died, and he wants to pay them off, as well as others, as well as his sons, line his own pockets, and make sure that he...
Lining pockets, that's something the Democrats really know a lot about, right? Yeah. So they need to stop it. Oh my God.
Can have an on-the-ground team who he has financed and enriched so that he can continue his culture of corruption and his self-dealing schemes. And we are going to continue to call them out and stand up and push back against that. We will use the courts, the community, and Congress to stop him. That's why they had to pull the bill that they're trying to, jam more funds into ICE and CBP to continue their rogue enforcement activity, because this was something that even Republicans couldn't stomach.
I want to also ask you about Cuba. We've now seen this week the indictment against Raul Castro. There is the Nimitz Carrier Group is now in the Caribbean. Are you anticipating some sort of military type action in Cuba in the days or weeks ahead? And if so, would you support such an action?
Well, an indictment of Raul Castro was long overdue. Certainly doesn't, I don't shed any tears over that.
All right, so there's enough of that. Biden brought in 20 million illegals and she said nothing. So yes, Michael, I'm with you. What are they going to do in 4 years when they can't blame Trump for everything? Yes. So I'm saying she's a legend in her own mind, Tina. So anyway, let me see. I have to show you. Let me show you some other stuff. Hold on. Let me show you the people who are angry. I mean, they are livid. What? She is run. Oh my God. I'll take that. Let me show you. Some of you were asking about Cherfilus-McCormick. I will share this with you because some of you may have forgotten. And she even chimed in on it. I'm like, lady, you need to be trying to stay out of jail. You don't need to be saying anything. How many of you remember? Okay, hold on. So she eventually resigned. Okay, here we go. And she was indicted because she was Black. We know white supremacy is systemic racism. Oh my God.
For the first time since resigning from Congress, Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick is breaking her silence.
We want to take a live look at Capitol Hill this morning, where the former Congresswoman was indicted late last year, accused of stealing millions in FEMA funds, then funneling that money through her family's company and into political and personal uses.
But the CBS 12 News I-team pressed the Congresswoman directly long before that. The question stayed the same. Where did all that money go?
We can't talk about it right now, but we have our union because the attorneys are dealing with it. It's a legal matter. But we have the union members here who would love to talk to you about what's going on.
Don't you have something to say to the taxpayers about this?
Hi.
There's no press allowed into a public meeting?
Close event, yes.
This is a public venue, and the Congresswoman's an elected official, and she's not going to let the media into this event.
But I also wanted to ask you about the investigation into your families. But this is also part of her congressional duties. Congresswoman.
Evening. So you see what they do. That the lady stepped in and put something. So you see what happens. The Haitian American indicted on $5 million. Yes, fake Black elitist caught with her hand in the cookie jar. Yeah, she said it was due to white supremacy and racism. That's why they went after her. Lady, stop it. She's working with them, accepting bribes. So she needs, Haitian thief. Where's Tom Holman when you need him? Somebody dial ICE. Woo. Yeah. And you see what they do when they're caught. They won't talk. That is a very elitist attitude.
Anchor Jim Grimes caught up with her at an event in West Palm Beach over the weekend, asking her about her decision to step down and what comes next.
Well, from the start, Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick's political career has been marked by challenges. A virtual unknown in 2021, she narrowly won a fiercely contested Democratic primary special election by just 5 votes. But it wasn't long after arriving in Washington that she began facing serious questions about campaign finances, questions she's still dealing with 4 years later.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to start off by saying thank you.
Just days after her resignation, former Congresswoman Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick makes her first public appearance in West.
All right, the string of tears is coming down. Lady, the taxpayers want to know where their money is. Stop it.
Palm Beach, telling supporters her fight is far from over.
So even in this situation, I still believe that our Lord and Savior will save our district. Will make sure
our Lord and Savior. You weren't thinking about your Lord and Savior when you were involved in these nefarious activities.
Sure, our voices will be heard. This is not the end for any of us. This is the beginning.
Just days earlier in Washington, she was defending herself in a high-stakes ethics hearing as questions focused on how money from a $5 million FEMA overpayment moved within her family's healthcare company.
Sir, this is a family business who make agreements around a kitchen table, and there's an agreement that mom's going to get 10% and brother's going to get 20%, and you're suggesting somehow that that's nefarious.
In our exclusive interview, Cherfilus-McCormick says investigators misunderstood how those funds were handled.
What did the Ethics Committee get wrong when it comes to the facts?
They got wrong several things. We showed them documentation that there was a profit sharing agreement.
But the evidence they presented didn't sway the committee, which scheduled a vote on whether to recommend expelling her from office. That vote would never happen.
Why did you make the decision to resign before the committee's decision?
The committee didn't actually have a process that was fair, and it was violating and trampling all over all of my due process. And at the end of the day, they had an agenda to execute. And instead of doing that to my district, I said, you know what, we just come back and fight.
And that fight could include another run for office. Days before that vote, Cherfilus-McCormick filed paperwork to seek a third full term representing Florida's 20th congressional district.
You guys know my consistency, you know my heart, you know who I am. And when people come telling you I stole something, I never asked nobody for $1. And everybody here knows that.
Sounding more like a candidate, Cherfilus-McCormick denies stealing any money.
The core of this is that $5 million overpayment. How do you explain that?
Well, that's something that's actually being disputed right now in court, so we can't answer that. But I tell everybody, look at the facts.
While she acknowledges the overpayment, Cherfilus-McCormick says her family's company had a contract with the state worth more than $20 million, a document we've yet to see. But CBS 12 News did obtain the settlement with the state. It shows her family's company agreed to repay more than $5.6 million with no admission of wrongdoing. But her legal troubles are far from over. She still faces a federal criminal trial. Prosecutors allege she took the FEMA funds, moved the money through multiple accounts, and used some of it for her campaign and personal expenses, charges she denies.
I tell everybody, look at the facts. Just keep going back to the facts and look at it. And we can't have that conversation because right now we're litigating it.
While she says she can't discuss the criminal case, she told her supporters this.
Read the actual indictment. Read the dates. I can't speak about it, but if you read it, you'll see it makes no sense. That there was a mistake in the state of Florida that you're trying to hold me accountable for. Over 1,000 companies, not one person ever by the state of Florida was indicted. Not one person federally ever indicted.
Whether Cherfilus-McCormick can beat the criminal case and still run for re-election is up in the air. But for now, she says she's not backing down.
No, the fight is not over.
That part, my girls, if there was no wrongdoing on her part, why did she and her family's company agree to pay back those millions of dollars? Exactly, my girls. Enough said. She's standing up here lying to these idiots, and they're actually believing her.
We're continuing to fight, and they may think they won this one battle, but there's so many more battles to be fought.
It's possible Palm Beach County may have seen the last of Cherfilus-McCormick. As we were putting this story together, the boundaries for District 20 were being redrawn in Tallahassee. If approved, the new map would shift District 20 entirely into Broward County.
For the first time since resigning from Congress.
All right. So yeah, she's a liar. And she's saying, of course, I didn't do anything wrong. And it's because she's black. Oh my gosh, white systemic racism and white supremacy have struck again.
I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support, and we're going to keep fighting until the district gets what it needs, which is fair prices, housing, and fair representation of Congress. I look forward to my day in court.
So anyway, and you can look her up, Copper Granny. I think you were asking questions about her. And let me show you. Yeah, There's that ring you were talking about. Oh, I think, was it Lala? Let me play this because one of you were asking about that big rock on her hand.
Well, it's an unjust indictment, and it seems like these intimidation tactics have been pervasive.
Everyone see that picture? We just listened to that. She's accused of stealing $5 million of FEMA funds, allegedly used the money. She purchased a ring for $109,000, 3.14 carat. I think this is the ring you were talking about. Of course, Dorian. That's supposed to be a woman, Michael. Jasmine Crockett's sister. Right, Greg. So again, but they're here to represent Black Americans. Get out of here. Get out of here. They're there to continue to put more money into their own pockets. And so, let me see. Okay. I have another video I need to share with you. But yeah, the Congressional Black Caucus. Let me show you. Let me get the video that I had to share with you. Yeah, they were angry. And she was told not to run for that seat. So let me pull up this video for you. Hit the like button, folks. So she's resigned and her family's company's having to repay money. Right, Tina, but she didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, I'm going to queue up the next video for you. These people are so full of it. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, here it is.
Not sure if you saw.
All right. I'm going to queue it up. And you know she's full of it just like I know she's full of it. All right, let me cue this one here. All right. So tell me what you think, folks. You know what I think. She's a crook. And she also had something to say about Wasserman running for that seat. They need someone Black. Get out of here. And they're actually saying that she backstabbed. So the Black people, they're saying she backstabbed them. I'm like, these people, they won't stop. So I got to get to the point. Hold on. I want you to hear, hold on, what she had to say. Now, some of this we have seen already, but I definitely want you to hear what McCormick had to say. And again, she has other situations that she needs to be concerned with, like trying to stay out of jail. So yeah, they're calling her backstabber and some other words that I can't use here on YouTube. Oh my God.
And some Republican seats.
So let's listen.
Y'all, thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Y'all, this is a very, very interesting story. The redistricting, the national redistricting is not only taking away Democratic seats in Congress and some Republican seats. It looks like the total might be up to a net gain for Republicans of up to 20 seats. We're going to see how that plays out. But y'all, it's also fracturing the Democratic coalition. We've already seen your girl, Jasmine Crockett, essentially kicked out of her district when it was redistricted.
And I have something to share with you on her too. I looked at a short video on her today.
I guess she thought that would be the easier route rather than running in a redrawn district with new people. And she lost. And now, y'all, this is among many other examples, but today we're going to be talking about Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who was also redrawn out of her district, and she had to make a decision. Does she run in a majority black district and potentially kick a black person out of their district, or take over a seat that was held by a black person? Y'all, black folks in Florida are livid that she decided to do so after they warned her not to.
I just told you that.
Including the black political class of Florida, absolutely laying into Debbie, y'all. Make sure you watch until the end. Then I want to get your opinion. Without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it.
Official Florida Congresswoman.
If you want.
And we've already listened to most of that, but I want you to hear some other parts of it here. Hold on.
Schultz is entering the race for the state's 20th congressional district, a seat held by black lawmakers for the last 3 decades. Her announcement drawing pushback from those who are now questioning why she's seeking a seat with deep roots in the black community. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is your.
Listen carefully. The party of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sounds racist to me.
Reporter live in Lauderdale Lakes with reaction. Ted?
Yeah, Lauren, there are 6 black candidates and Debbie Wasserman Schultz now in this race for District 20. And candidates are not mincing words. They are furious that Wasserman Schultz decided to run in this district.
Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for re-election in Congressional District 20.
When Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced that she's running in the new.
Now, you see, when she announced it, who was in the background? She had a picture of Barack Obama. Symbolism. Again, they're all the same. My girls, the ones who founded the Triple K, Jim Crow, segregation, civil wrongs. Yeah. Papa, Wasserman Schultz must be Cuban, Ashkenazi Jew. She's there to help speed up gentrification. She's got corruption written all over her. Yeah, Papa, they're all corrupt. Agreed. Diversity, equity, and delusion. All right, Michael. Oh, my God.
Created District 20. It set off a firestorm in the party and within the African American community. Sheila Cherfilus-McCormick held the seat until she resigned during an ethics investigation. She's running again.
You should run where you feel like you're most compatible. And the truth is, today I watched the video and a lot of my constituents sent it. And the one question they all said to me, what is her why?
Now she's in the Democratic Party. And since Wasserman obviously is not black, they want to know, why would you run for this seat? We want a black person in this seat. What is your why? Sheila, we know what your why is. I'll give you 5 million reasons why you had that seat. You know where I'm going with this.
Why this district?
This area has been held by black lawmakers for 34 years. It's a crowded field. Many who are running say black voices and representation need to be protected.
Again, I'm not going to stop saying this. There was no black representation. You had black people, black Americans who were in those seats. They did not represent black Americans. They represented the Democratic Party. They did and adhere to anything that the Democratic Party placed before them. Period.
Now, I told you that the black political class had warned. They had warned Wasserman Schultz, don't do it.
They warned her not to do it. But and she, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it in a minute. Hall & Oates, baby. Okay.
Don't do it, y'all. You think she listened? First, let's just take a look at a pretty straightforward warning and the reasoning behind it. Now, whether you agree or disagree, this is the reasoning that the black political class in Florida gave to Wasserman Schultz not to run for this particular office. And as you already see, she didn't listen. Y'all, this is going to be a major problem. Let's take a look at this warning.
Running in that seat, which means Wasserman Schultz will be counting on her opponents in the primary, splitting up the African-American vote and allowing her to become the nominee. The Broward County Democratic Black Caucus has asked...
I'll pause that so you can read it. Black voters have always been the soul of the Democratic Party, and Florida's 20th congressional district has been an anchor of black political representation. Lie. for over 3 decades. We have a duty to speak on what happens to it next. And so everyone see this? So Debbie Wasserman Schultz should not run in Florida. Doing so would cement DeSantis' attack on Black representatives. So remember, she said, no, they didn't tell me not to run. Yes, they did. So stop the lies. We have surfaced of non-Black candidates considering entering the August primary for Florida 20. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, most prominent among them. We are speaking out before filing decisions become final so that no one enters this primary without knowing where our community stands. Members of our caucus keep coming back to one question. What would Alcee say? Alcee Hastings won this district in 1992 as one of the first Black, see, everything's about race, first Black members of Congress from Florida since Reconstruction, a 116-year gap. The seat existed because federal courts had applied the Voting Rights Act. Hold on, let me move this so I can see it. Hold on.
Wasserman Schultz not to run.
I can't see the rest of it. Let me take the closed captioning off. Hold on. Okay, there it is. Florida to the seat existed because federal courts had applied the Voting Rights Act and ordered Florida to redraw its map. He held it for 28 years. That's too long. We need term limits. Until he died. They die in office. They don't leave. He would say, this seat is not a political prize. He would say representation is about who knows the community, who has lived its conditions, and who answers to it. He would say the district was hard won and we are not the people to lose it. So this is the Broward County Democratic Black Caucus. Sounds discriminatory to me. Type your thoughts in the comment section. Papa, she threw the CBC and DNC under the bus. However, she wouldn't have done that to her ethnic community. The Cubans, small hats. How interesting. Yeah, so they're continuing, the party is continuing to splinter. Michael, for Black Democrats who always talk pro-Black, they sure vote a lot for white Democrat. Michael, make it make sense. They didn't even support Ghetto Girl, Jasmine Crockett. They supported Tallarico, right? Crystal, Crystal, where have you been? Oh my God, everyone say hello to Crystal. It's been a long time. Edek, how you doing? Edek, let us know if you're new here, love, so we can give you a nice warm Roland's Reviews welcome. Edek says, how you doing, Prosperity? I'm in Georgia. It's interesting what fallout will be as Governor Kemp redraws them district, and I'm here for it. Yes. Prosperity, where have you been? I know I got your text. Oh, love. I know you're busy. Hey, I understand. We still love you, Prosperity. We know you're busy. All right. Okay. So listen, I'll go ahead and continue the video here.
For that seat. And it is clear that if she did run, it would turn into an ugly and potentially racial affair.
I did talk to her. She explained to me how important seniority is in Congress, and we want to keep her in Congress. But we're just asking her to consider running in the district that she was drawn into, or even in the coastal district where Moskowitz says he's going to run, where it's predominantly Jew. Debbie Wasserman.
It all comes down to race. They want her to run, basically, go over to where your people are. Don't come over here to the Black side. I thought this was the party of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Schultz, Moskowitz, it's like they're vying to protect their seats. And what we're saying is we've been an ally. We've been a supporter. We want to have someone with our lived experience. Let our community kind of decide through the voting process who that person is going to be.
Well, let me. So as we already showed you in a previous video, y'all, the Congressional Black Caucus, they're looking at losing significant representation and significant power as a result of all of this redistricting and potentially Black folks losing to other candidates. And in Florida, now the gloves are off. They don't care. They're calling Wasserman Schultz out. They're calling her a traitor. Okay, they're calling her a traitor. Maybe they didn't use that word, but wait until you see exactly what the words that they do use, and then you tell me. I don't think it's an exaggeration that they literally feel stabbed in the back by Wasserman Schultz and her decision to run in a majority Black district.
Oh my God. Tell me what you think about this, folks. I'm loving it. Woo.
Y'all, you're not the candidate of choice for our community.
Did everyone hear what this guy, Elijah Manley, said, Democrat congressional candidate, District 20? He told her, you are not the candidate of choice for our community. That sounds divisive to me. My girls, they wouldn't have to have these lived experiences if they did their jobs. Yes, my girls, exactly.
And to ignore that and run anyways just shows you do not respect Black voices. You do not respect the Black community.
You don't either, sir. You guys have these seats. You've had these seats for years, and you've done nothing but shield for the Democrats. So shut your mouth.
I'm very troubled also about what is happening because it's dividing our party. Alliances that we've built over time are shattering, and it's unfortunate.
Don't say you're thinking about it and all that. Just say it. Be who you are. Show us who you are. But you didn't. And so that is another layer of character that was displayed.
Another candidate in the race is Rudy Moyes. He sent a statement saying Wasserman Schultz's decision to run in District 20 sends the wrong message to Dems all over Florida. Despite the backlash, Wasserman Schultz said she can represent the people who live here and says the whole redistricting plan is to weaken Democrats.
Because we're the most Democratic, bluest county in the state, they are intentionally trying to blow apart Broward's clout and our power.
Now, Luther Campbell is also running for this seat. He put out a statement this afternoon calling Wasserman Schultz power-hungry, selfish, and politically greedy. Now, if Wasserman Schultz were to win this seat, what that would mean is that for the entire state of Florida, there would only be one person who's Black in Congress, and that would be Frederica Wilson in Miami. Live in Lauderdale Lakes, Ted Scout, CBS News, Miami.
So Wasserman Schultz came out and she gave her reasoning for running for this particular district. She had an option of running in at least 2 different districts, which may have produced a win for her. So this wasn't like her only option. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that in Congress, seniority matters. So if you're looking at purely political power, you would want Wasserman Schultz on your side, regardless of her race, regardless of her ethnicity.
Didn't we not say that earlier? Looking at her credentials, her experience, of course, we wouldn't vote for her because she's a Democrat. But I'm saying they're not looking at any of that. What did they say they wanted? They wanted a Black person in that position.
She shares your similar politics. She was once a leader in the Democratic Party.
They don't care.
And I would say she still is, even though her profile has largely abated from previous years. And just political power, okay, she's been in Congress for 20 years, something like that. So seniority-wise, you would definitely want her representing you if you're looking at bringing home the bacon. But a lot of people are looking more at the color of your skin than what you can do politically for them.
I have spent years, decades, getting to know and working with people in the Black community. They know and trust me, and that's the feedback that I've been getting all in the last few weeks since this illegal redistricting.
This does come at a time when, because of the Supreme Court decision in Calais, that you're seeing southern states move quickly to try to chop up and eliminate Democratic seats, many of them held by African.
Yes, Michael, Luther Campbell. He's running for office too. Who would vote for that clown? Get out of here. They want Black, read and understand the language. Yeah, right, Papa.
Americans. It's likely that the Congressional Black Caucus, the numbers in the Congressional Black Caucus are going to be much smaller in the next Congress, regardless of what Democratic wins there are. So I'm curious if in the course of doing these deliberations about this, if you had conversations with Hakeem Jeffries, with members of the Congressional Black Caucus and what they told you about the prospect of you going into a seat that has traditionally, for the last 3 decades, been held by an African American?
Yes, I have. I am very close with my CBC colleagues and obviously close with Leader Jeffries as a member of his leadership team. And we all know, and we're all outraged. This is a very sensitive time. This is a very difficult, outrageous time. The decision made by the Supreme Court in the Calais decision, it really was unacceptable. And when Democrats win the majority, we're going to pass legislation to ensure that we can have, we can prohibit mid-decade redistricting so that we can ensure that we have fair redistricting that people can count on and that people's voices are not intentionally silenced as Republicans have done here.
But did anyone in the Congressional Black Caucus say to you not to run?
Listen, now remember, I just shared the information. They told her not to run. Now watch her straight face tell a bald-faced lie. He just asked, did anyone in the Congressional Black Caucus tell her not to run? Now listen to this.
No, none of them asked me not to run.
Why is she stuttering? No, none of them. Okay. She's lying, ain't she? Yes, Michael. Tina, I love it too, Miss Rowland. Democrats eating Democrats. Yeah, they're still imploding. I love it. She just told a bald-faced lie. Okay.
So Wasserman Schultz, she previously represented a district with a large Hispanic community. And now she's saying, hey, I'm used to representing minorities. Is that really the same? I don't think that's the same, y'all.
All right, so that's enough of that. All right. One of my favorite women, Carol Swain. She's been calling out the NAACP, questioning their nonprofit status. Hopefully they could lose that. Democrats won't pass. Right, Greg. So I have another couple of short videos I want to share. Yeah, the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus continued the grift. The grift continues. All right. And to be the party of diversity, equity and inclusion, every day they're being exposed. So we talk about Black Democrats running for Congress. What's the real issue? You want the Black people to vote for Black, and the people that the Black people want, you give them someone else. So, and remember, like in Texas, the Black people said they're not supporting Tallarico. So we're going to have to wait and see how that works out. And you say white Democrats won't vote for Black Democrats. I thought the Democrats were, kumbaya. Everyone loved everybody. Everything was equal. So they're changing the marketing plan here, folks. These so-called Black districts, in order to get Black representation, okay, what do? Yeah. So what are we doing here? They're trying to get us to go back to Jim Crow, segregation, all of that. We know that. They're calling her Jim Crow Debbie. That's her nickname. Anyone hear that? They're calling her Jim Crow Debbie. Let me cue up this next video for you. Oh my God. I just laugh at these people. They are absolutely ridiculous. All right. All right, let me see. I'm going to cue up the next video for you here. Tell me what your thoughts are as I cue this up. Carol Swain is everything. Yeah, the Democrat, why don't they ever have, they love Black women so much. They never have a Carol Swain or a Condoleezza Rice. They always have the ghetto, the Bonnet Brigade. And they that's what they think of us, right? People keep voting for them. This is my girl, Dr. Carol Swain. Yes. If I can get this to work here. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to show you a little clip I looked at of old ghetto Jasmine Crockett. Then we're done. All right, let me see.
We will continue to stand with the NAACP in encouraging athletes in our community to look elsewhere until these racially gerrymandered maps in the South are reversed, buried in the ground, never to rise again.
That was Democrat House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries speaking with the NAACP leadership. Joining us now to dive deeper is former law professor at Princeton and Vanderbilt, Dr. Carol Swain. It's great to welcome you to the show, Dr. Swain. To begin, I want to pull up something that you posted on X here. You say the NAACP is putting pressure on Black high school students with their call to action. I have heard you speak about your background, your impressive background, and your words rising from rural poverty, a long list of achievements, 3 presidential appointments, 5 degrees. Can you expand on what you know personally about the pressure that these students are facing, just to begin?
Well, many of the athletes come from single-parent households. There's a lot of dysfunction. They see sports as their way out of poverty. And we know that they have problems sometimes in college adjusting, as well as finishing high school. For the NAACP to put pressure on them and try to use the young people, to advance an agenda that they think is important, I think that that they should be condemned, the NAACP, for just abuse, because these children need support. They need support with academics. They need support with the homes that they live in, because the fathers are missing. And the NAACP, if they wanted to do something for the Black community, then they should focus on the problems that are really disrupting the nation, because the problems don't stay at home.
You mentioned a good point about focus, first of all, the focus of what is happening, and B, that for many of these students, attending one of these colleges is a lifelong dream. The states being targeted, we know, they are home to schools with these powerhouse athletic programs, as we pull up a map here for you. One of those states is Louisiana. It has become a flashpoint, as you know, for the voter representation debate in elections.
And I just wanted to share this with you folks. I love Dr. Carol Swain, and I'm just hoping and praying that these athletes ignore these people, okay?
So is this school fight, like some have suggested, about inspiring young athletes, or is, to your point, and as you laser in on what the focus here, is it about reshaping a political and maybe even an educational system, as others have suggested?
Well, I can tell you that their battle with the Voting Rights Act and with the administration, that it's just meaningless, because the Supreme Court decision was based on the Constitution, and the Supreme Court has never supported race-based districting. And so this is a waste of the NAACP's time. They're very good.
What do we say here? They just need, they've been irrelevant for years. Just shut them down.
Wasting time, as well as that of the student athletes that may follow their advice. Those young people need to ignore the NAACP. They're not relevant. They have not done anything for Black people in decades, and they should not even exist. They should not exist because they are a segregated racial organization that pushes a progressive left agenda.
In other words, they're in bed with the Democratic Party. That's the progressive left. So they're following the Democratic agenda.
We'll have to leave it there. On the student side, we know that there is starting to emerge some disruptions there, but we also know on the political side, lawmakers have.
All right. And that's what I wanted you to hear so far as that's concerned. But I watched a short on Jasmine Crockett, and I wanted to share that. I told you, as I'm preparing, I try to watch a lot of clips. And let me see where, let me find my history here. So, folks, these people, if you agree, I agree with Dr. Carol Swain. The NAACP should lose their status. And she agrees they haven't been relevant in years. Just go away. All right, here it is with Jasmine Crockett. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm queuing it up. Hit that like button as you wait for me to get this going. All right, where is it? And you just listen, even listening to Jasmine Crockett. I wanted you to hear how she's talking, because this is what she gets people excited. And she's part of the problem here. All right, let me cue this up here. I'm almost got it. Gina, with the 2020 election being proven stolen means we can grab our Republican seats back. I hope so, Gina. We know what that was all about. Yeah. They should never use the word cheating in their mouths. I'm sorry, but they should not. All right, we're gonna remove this because I want something else I want you to see. With old Jasmine Crockett, we know she lost her seat, thank God. Oh, these people. I hope you are enjoying what we're talking about here. All right, so we're going to, let me share this with you, Jasmine Crockett. Boom, there it is. Okay. Because this is exactly what we've been talking about. So that's why I'm still sharing this stuff.
Here and listen to this. That's one.
And I'm so glad she lost her seat. And I want you to watch and how disrespectful she is in cutting off Dr. Carol Swain. Let's watch this and tell me what your thoughts are. I watched this and I was like, oh my God. Okay, here we go.
Reason I watched the majority of this and didn't actually sit in this room because I'm sure my faces would have told everything that I was thinking. Is there anyone that finds it odd? Well, can we start here? I'm gonna start with the entire panel. Are the Proud Boys a white supremacist organization? Yes or no? Starting with Ms. Wiley.
It is my view they are.
It depends on how you define it. I have a book.
Okay, never mind. Next.
Depends on how you
It's
define
a yes
it.
or no. Proud Boys, how they define themselves. Are they white supremacists? Yes or no?
I have not read a description of how they define themselves.
That's fine.
You see how dismissive she is? Now, this was Carol Swain trying to talk, and she just cuts her off. Just disrespectful. I'm sure her parents are disgusted with her behavior.
I'm not on their mailing list. I don't know.
So are you only on the mailing list of?
I'm not like the SPLC. I don't fund organizations that I'm in.
Oh, it just seemed like you were saying because you haven't received their mail, you only received the mail of white supremacists. But go ahead, last witness.
No, they're not white supremacists.
And you know what? I do believe that y'all believe that. Let's try another one. Neo-Nazis, Miss Wiley.
Well, yes.
What?
Nazis is in their name. Neo-Nazis, Dr. Swain.
Is the question still about the Proud Boys or is it about the
Neo-Nazis? We have moved on.
See how disrespectful she is to Dr. Swain? Yes, my girls, this is why I want to be ghetto lost her. Yeah, I watched this and I was just like, wow. The SPLC have been exposed for being part of, yes, exactly. Oh my God.
Nazis.
Neo-Nazis are hate groups, and I have a book, 2002.
Okay, thank you so much.
About
So we're
hate
gonna
groups that I suggest that you all read.
I'm reclaiming my time.
book.
I'm reclaiming my time.
You see how dismissive she is? Now, she knows Dr. Swain's a conservative. You see how she treats her? That's not right.
Nazis. Are they white supremacists?
Neo-Nazis, are they white supremacists?
Yes or no?
What's that?
Yes or no?
They're certainly anti-Semitic. which I would join with any member of the Democratic Party. Mr. Nadler earlier was talking about standing up
Okay,
for the Jewish.
reclaiming my time. Next.
Yes, they're white supremacists.
Woo, thank God. Jesus Christ, I didn't think we were going to get there. Oh my gosh, let me be clear. Proud Boys are freaking white supremacists. Neo-Nazis are too. And this president, who loves to coddle white supremacists, has decided that they should be given checks. The reasons that I pointed to those particular organizations is because you can go and read, I don't know how many articles, as Dr. Swain wants people to read up. I'm going to be clear.
Greg, Swain has more intelligence than Crockett has in her entire body. Right. You see how disrespectful she is to her? Let's flip the question. Ghetto, are you a racist? The answer is yeah. My girl. Yes, my girl.
I've read my fair share of books. I do have my fair share of degrees. It is clear that neo-Nazis as well as Proud Boys joined in on January 6th. Yet this slush fund that they keep talking about is specifically to give them money. So how dare this majority sit here and try to lecture this organization about money? Now, we're not talking about tax-paying dollars as we are in that slush fund. But you're telling me that $2 billion in the same country that I'm sure some of y'all would struggle with whether or not the enslavement of Black people was good or bad. I'm not even going to go there and ask y'all the question because y'all struggle with defining that these people were white supremacists. But this country still hasn't thought that reparations made sense for Black folk in this country. But at the same time, they've decided that people that are in organizations that are absolutely white supremacy organizations should get our tax dollars.
I don't recall her having this much fervor when Jim Crow Joe Biden and the Curry Queen and all of these liberal cities, states gave billions of American taxpayer dollars to non-American citizens. She said nothing. She was on board with that. But yet she's going to talk about Trump. And Michael, I agree with you. Jasmine Crockett shouldn't even be breathing in the same airspace as Dr. Swain. You got it.
Because they decided to tear apart or attempt to tear apart our democracy. They are being rewarded. These are people that went through our criminal justice system. When people on that side of the aisle claim that they love law and order, they went through it. They either entered pleas of guilty or they were found guilty. And this president, on day one, his priority was not around racism. It was around doing things like letting them go and now putting money in.
What about all of the illegals who committed egregious crimes? You and the other Democrats didn't do anything to them. Some of them are still running around committing egregious crimes. So stop it. Stop the fake outrage.
In their pockets. We haven't had one hearing on white supremacy. Yet when we look at things like the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the 9 worshipers who were murdered at the Mother Emanuel AME Church, the 23 people murdered in 2019 during a shooting at Walmart in El Paso, the 10 people murdered during the 2022 shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. All of these were murdered by white supremacists who were empowered.
She doesn't care about any of these people's names that she just called out. Oh my God, you guys are dropping some comments. Yes, Tina, the Democrats were funding the Southern Poverty Law Center. We know. Right, my girls, you know she doesn't know what a woman is. Crystal, I won't miss loudmouth ghetto girl. She's always talking about her degrees, which degrees are great. They are, but a degree doesn't mean anything if you don't have common sense. Right. She usually talks about, yeah, right, Crystal. So I have nothing for her. Rita, how you doing, love? Where have you been? Carol Swain has more class in her pinky than Jasmine Crockett does in a whole entire body. Yes. I agree with all of you.
By the Republican Party's racist rhetoric and policies. This is the same party that wants to drag us back to the Jim Crow era. Some say that there aren't poll taxes, and I guess it's because they're not listing the amount of money. But when you tell somebody that they've got to go and pay for something, say, like a passport that costs over $100 in order to be able to vote, that looks like a poll tax to me. Some of y'all need to read up on your history books, the very same ones that the Republicans have decided decided that people should not hear about because you don't want real history taught in our schools because you're afraid that it's going to hurt people's feelings to know that their ancestors were so savage that they would enslave Black folk. You don't want them to understand why the 14th Amendment mattered then and it matters today. You don't want them to understand that when they draw these racist lines and tell Black folk that they shouldn't have representation in this country, that it is against the Constitution. You want them to be ignorant so that they can sit up here and be your token for your mission.
Expired.
See, she does that, and then she posts these videos on her YouTube channel. I got them told. I'm who was it? One of you just said, you glad she's gone? God knows I'm glad. I was sick of her. Oh, all the rights and free. Yeah, she won't tell you. Now notice, she didn't tell you it was the Democratic Party, right? Of course she didn't. I can't with these people. They are full of it, and you know what I'm talking about. When she lost her seat, crying like a stepchild on Mother's Day, they got the yeah. You did all of this ghetto work for the Democrats, acting like Bonquisha, and guess what? They chose Salarico. So you played what they say. You played yourself, and you did. All right. Who's gonna dance down the hall? MAGA. They're not like us. They're not like, yeah. So I don't care. I'm glad I'm sick of ghetto girl. Did she not realize Black folks own? She probably doesn't know. Of course, you know, straight from the Democrat playbook, you're talking about racism, systemic racism, and white supremacy. They won't let it go. All right. So was that all? I think that was all I had to share. I was going to share another, but that'd be 10 more minutes. Let me see. I wanted to share this with you since they're always, oh, we got to put somebody Black. Hold on. Anybody hear about the Black Park District Director who got a helicopter in Chicago for her daughter's prom, used taxpayer money, didn't get permission? Let me show that to you, and then we're going to go. So again, Crook County. Prosperity, are you still here? You didn't know we were going to be talking about Chicago again. Wow. Just wow. What is Jasmine to do now? Right. Copper Granny. Oh, some of you have heard about this already. Woo! But they still, have to get someone Black. Doesn't matter how crooked they are, as long as they're Black, they're good. These people never learn. They never learn. And I'm just like, what the heck? Oh, Prosperity, you're familiar with it. And then she, on camera, she lied. Oh my God. But she's Black. So we can't hold her accountable for anything. And everyone, all of you who've been here on the channel for a while, you already know Pink Book reads them the riot act. She does not care, and I love it.
The weekend, some kids playing basketball on this court quickly took cover when a helicopter started flying low, eventually landing without anyone from the city understanding why. It turns out the executive director of Marquand's Park decided she wanted her daughter's prom send-off to be so big, but the city contends she was negligent.
This is bad.
Markham police body cam shows the moment officers rushed to Rossner Park for a helicopter behind the field house. They quickly talked to the pilot.
So is there like any registration information on this?
The chopper landed for a prom send-off for the park's executive director, Quintina Brown's daughter.
Was there any communication between the city and here about the aircraft?
I got it okay through the park board. I didn't just, you know what's going on with the city.
Just so you know, everything she's saying here is a bald-faced lie.
So.
Okay, so the park board okayed it?
Yes, the park board president right there.
Now look at this fool. This is what I'm talking about. You give positions and titles to the wrong people, and this is what you get. Quintina Brown. Quintina, you need to come down to the front of the class. We got another city girl here out of Crook County, Illinois, at the Markham Park District. She placed all the minors and everyone at this park in danger when she ordered a helicopter.
I thought Black Lives Mattered. Woo, what a joke.
To land at the park. Get this. To send her daughter off to prom in this grand style, but super dangerous, where they landed without any authorization, just her own. On top of that, she stole money from them to pay for this helicopter. And she's running around acting like she did nothing wrong.
Whatever, I do what I want.
But listen to what the park board president tells the officer.
It's not a park district event. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the park district.
Yet the helicopter landed next to homes, not to mention clearly on park property.
This is just so stupid, so dangerous, so reckless. Not only did she endanger all those kids playing at the park, but that's a residential area. Look at all those houses around. Folks, this is really dangerous and just stupid. Who would do something like this? Oh yeah, Quintina Bimbo Brown. And then listen to her, up here lying with all that baby bop bimbo babble. She lied to the police and said the park president gave her the authorization to do this. And the president was like, no, this is not a park event. This mess Quintina got going on don't have nothing to do with the park. The president told authorities that she did not authorize any of this. So off rip, we already know Quintina Brown here is a fraud and a liar. She will look you right in the face and tell a whole lie.
There was never any communication.
The village manager says that's the biggest problem because safety of everyone in the park was compromised.
We would have put our residents on notice, right? I think first and foremost, we have to think safety first. We'd have sent out flyers.
But Brown on scene provided officers with this notice, signed by her to authorize the landing.
Y'all look at it. She said, please allow this letter to confirm that Quamaya Brown has been approved to allow Summer Skies to conduct a prom photo at our location. And she signed this herself. Look, it's her name and her signature.
Oh, the park district, they can't give authors. At one point, police say Brown expected the helicopter to fly her daughter over the park, but officers quickly grounded that idea.
As of now, he cannot take the young lady on the prom thing. Okay.
She was taking her pictures.
Oh, she was taking pictures. Okay, so she's going by the party. Okay.
Ain't nobody upset about it.
She says she's just taking her pictures. Ain't nobody upset about it. Look at this mess she caused. The risk and liability that she created just for her daughter to take photos right in the sky that she couldn't even afford. Because just wait until they tell you how she paid for this.
But Markham City Attorney is upset.
Did the board approve it? Who paid for it?
Officers gave Brown and the pilot citations for disorderly conduct and landing on public property.
Landing at a park is kind of crazy.
Both the park district and the city would have been sued if something, God forbid, had happened.
Now, Brown's ticket is just under $200. Over the phone, I got a chance to talk to her. She says she didn't think that she needed to call anyone from the city. Now, I did ask directly, do you believe that there was a conflict of interest authorizing this helicopter to land here at the park for your own daughter? Brown says she didn't think it was a conflict of interest. Yeah. As for the city, they are reviewing, specifically the legal team, reviewing to see whether or not they can tack on any more fines to Brown.
And this is why I said she's too dumb for this position. She is too incompetent. If she
sounds like a DEI hire to me. What do you think? Type in the comment section.
Can't look at this and recognize there was a conflict of interest. One, she didn't even have the authority to allow a helicopter to land at that park in the first place. That type of decision cannot be made at her level. But two, for her to say she didn't know writing this letter for her daughter and signing it herself was a conflict of interest, something is really wrong with her. Either she's super slow or she's just a super liar. In my opinion, she's a super scammer.
Tell me what you think, folks. Woo, Michael, look at all that horse hair. Woo, oh my God. I can't with these people. God knows. Then they just stand there and tell lies.
Let's talk about the backlash tonight in South suburban Markham after a helicopter was used for a student's prom photo shoot. Chopper landed in Rosner Park, not far from nearby homes, and the student involved, well, turns out she's the daughter of the park's executive director. NBC5's Natalie Martinez has more on the controversy now surrounding this prom send-off.
The city attorney says it's about safety and the misuse of funds. New documents filed in court Tuesday with the city of Markham and the Markham Park District, specifically pointing to the unpermitted landing and operation of a helicopter on Park District property near playgrounds and residential homes.
It never would be authorized in a residential neighborhood, or jeopardizing the public safety.
Citing a threat to residents and the public, the city attorney points to this incident on May 8th, caught on police body camera video. A Markham police officer saw a helicopter flying in an alarmingly low altitude near Resner Park Playground and Park District building on Richmond Avenue, landing near active basketball courts and causing children to flee.
Yeah, this was dangerous.
There were no kids outside.
And see, Quintina, this is the problem I got with you. You will lie and the truth ain't in you. They had a bunch of kids.
Everybody hear what she just said. There were no kids outside. Oh my, and you
near Resner Park Playground and Park District building on Richmond Avenue, landing near active basketball courts and causing children to flee the area, it says.
There were no kids outside.
And see, Quintina, this is the problem I got with you. You will lie and the truth ain't in you. They had a bunch of kids on the basketball court alone. They thought the helicopter was crashing or something, so it startled them. But of course, she didn't care what was going on or about the safety of those minors because all she cared about was her own daughter and getting some fake pictures for them to post online. She didn't think about other people and their daughters and their sons out there. It was just all about her and her daughter. I mean, pulling off this prom trick, really a finesse they couldn't afford. But yeah, I told you, she can't be trusted. She's a liar.
The person behind it, the executive director of the Park District and her 17-year-old daughter.
She wanted to do a prom photo shoot.
Quintina Brown claims that she knew of no ordinance violated by the stunt. The city's zoning ordinance, according to the court docs, explicitly prohibits this type of vehicle in these spaces.
It says you can't land something like that in a public space.
Well, that's something new to us.
The pilot, according to the filing, stated that his company was hired by Brown for an $800 prom photo shoot and short tour by Lansing-based Summer Skies. The contract identifies the Park District as the customer and payor.
Why did you use that credit card?
I didn't. There was no misuse of funds.
She lied. She used the county's money, not her own. So she's just, everything she's saying is a lie. Ah.
Oh.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
Now, for those wondering, I know that lady ain't sit up there and order this helicopter with the city's credit card. Well, stop wondering. That's exactly what this big dummy did. She ordered the helicopter and listed the Park District as the customer and the payer, then paid for the helicopter, the required deposit, with the city credit card. It's all documented by the helicopter company. And this fool got on the news. Look at her face. She got on there and told a straight up lie.
The contract identifies the Park District as the customer and payor.
Why did you use that credit card?
I didn't. There was no misuse of funds at all. So I don't know where they got that from.
Was it the Park District credit card?
No, it was my card.
I really can't stand people like this. This is Clarissa Shields level line. The type where they lie, they play dumb, they play slow, and play victim all at the same time. They rely on other people to somehow be dumber than them, dumb enough to believe their lies. Look at her.
The mayor has publicly called it reckless.
This is what happens when you have no oversight, no governance.
Officers issued citations to Brown and the pilot for disorderly conduct and unauthorized landing on public property. Now it goes in front of a judge this week or next. In Markham, Natalie Martinez, NBC5 News.
There is split reaction about this prom helicopter stunt. Some say no one was harmed, so what's the problem? Others, including city leaders, insisting that the park director crossed the line for a photo op for her daughter. A photo shoot, at least the deposit we now know was charged with a credit card that taxpayers pay for.
Yeah. So again, I told you, I warned you. She was just standing there straight telling bald-faced lies. Old Town, she said, look at her after calling her dumb. Wow. Unbelievable.
After this helicopter landed at the Markham Park, catching many by surprise, this prom stunt for the park director's daughter is now political. Here's what Quintina Brown told officers.
I got it okay through the park, or I didn't just, you know what's going on with the city.
Yet city leaders never authorized the landing in the public park where children were playing.
Did they say you can land a helicopter?
I have the landing permission. I can bring it over.
The pilot had a notice signed by the park director herself. The company later handed over this invoice to the city attorney. The receipt raises much bigger questions. The bill was for a minimum of $800 for an hour. At the bottom, there's a credit card number linked to Brown. She named Markham Parks as the company and even used the address of the field house and provided her signature on a taxpayer-funded credit card.
The plot thickens, as they say.
The city attorney says there's no way Brown accidentally entered all that information. In fact, he spoke to the helicopter company.
They told me that the deposit...
Right, DS. Yeah, let's continue voting for people and giving people positions because of the color of their skin. Yes, they're clowns. Idiots. Idiots, DS Ride Service. And you came in kind of late. Make sure those of you who came in late, go back and look at the videos that I shared at the beginning. It's time out for that.
Was charged to the card, and they have not been successful in getting the remaining $800 off the card for whatever reason.
Using the Park District credit card either to pay or hold the reservation is why Markham's mayor says residents should be concerned.
Why wouldn't somebody question that?
In fact, the city started questioning spending at the Park District and its board in the fall of 2025.
How are you?
CBS Chicago reported when Brown was first caught on body cam getting served with an injunction. Leaders allege Brown and the park board were not paying bills and left most parks with broken equipment and deplorable conditions.
You hear that? So she's spending the town's money on a helicopter for her daughter. And you see this, most of the parks had broken equipment and they were deplorable. But she had that money to spend on her daughter's prom.
Now look at that. She's not even keeping up with the park. The residents are paying all these taxes. You already know every time you get your property taxes, they just keep increasing the bill. It's the biggest scam in America. They had prices increase in this area in recent years. But Quintina Brown here, the director over the park, she can't seem to budget the finances. They're not paying the bills or keeping the park equipment safe for the children in the community, but she's using the park budget to pay for her daughter to have a prom helicopter ride and a photo shoot. You can't make this stuff up.
They've been landing helicopters in different ways over there.
And remember that invoice? There's a line which says every additional 6 minutes over the hour would be $80. We're told police grounded that chopper for at least 3 hours. Now the big question, who will pay for the extra minutes? Not to mention the original $800. Keep in mind, that contract is under the name of the Markham Park District. We did reach out to Brown. She did not get back to me tonight.
They need to put her straight in jail. So the fees for those extra 3 hours is about $2,400. That's $2,400 plus $800. A total of $3,200 that she signed off for the city to be responsible for because she named the city, not herself, as the customer and the payer. So she fraudulently went into contract with this company, representing the city in her role as director, holding the city responsible for her daughter's helicopter prom pictures. And you wonder why the park out there looking a mess. The community can't get what they need because if she's bold enough to steal funds for a prom picture.
You know this isn't her first rodeo. She felt comfortable doing that because she's done that before. It's not her first rodeo.
You already know y'all gotta audit her because she's definitely done more. Nah, this is not her first time stealing from the park.
No decisions made today in court during a hearing over a helicopter landing in a Markham Park for prom send-off. The send-off earlier this month was for the daughter of the Markham Park District Executive Director, Quintina Brown. An invoice from the helicopter company for $800 an hour shows a credit card linked to Brown. She named Markham Parks as the company and even used the address of the field house. City leaders tell us they never authorized that helicopter landing in a public park. The city asked for a temporary restraining order to stop the spending. Today, the judge refused that order for now. A new status hearing will be set, and we'll continue to follow the story.
And look at what this Cook County judge did. They're the worst. They allow people like Quintina Brown and people like Tiffany Tahoe to run around and just do whatever. Why? Because they're also crooks. I told you about that one Cook County judge out of Chicago that stole over $1.2 million from her 96-year-old Tuskegee Airman uncle. $1.2 million. And she was a sitting judge doing this. So I'm telling you, the level of corruption is disturbing. Quintina Brown should be locked up, no doubt about it. She did all of this to try to stunt on Facebook. That's what this was about, stunting with these prom pictures on Facebook. Like, why would you need a helicopter for prom in the first place? They didn't even have helicopter money. They stole the deposit money from the city to pay for it. I can't. Let's go ahead and get the...
Oh, so again, I think it was DS Ride Service. Yeah. Continue to hire people because they're Black. Continue to vote for people because they're Black. And this will continue. It won't stop, right? Lanita, yeah, I when I see stories like this, and the last person that Pink Book just talked about, I did a video on that. Her uncle, one of the last living, he's now deceased, one of the last living Tuskegee Airmen. She scammed him, was it $1 million? Oh my God. She was a judge in Crook County. Let me show you this. Tomorrow, of course, is Memorial Day. I went to Walmart today, and if you're interested, there was one of those campers there, one of the old Airstream campers, and there were people out there handing out bags. America's 250th birthday. Now, I know Black Americans have been told by Al Sharptongue not to participate and to have our own separate party. No. So this, I got this today from Walmart, and you can go online, you type in America's 250th birthday, and you can upload a video, and they're going to choose videos. And then here's the Walmart emblem here. They're going to choose videos of different people. And I was going to stay. They told me I could stay and give my story, go in there and talk for as long as I wanted. But I had to come get ready for the live stream. But I got my bag, and I'm going to go on their website and do a video. Maybe I'll talk about my life, maybe 30 minutes or something, and upload it. So if you're interested in that, you just go to, America. Let me see. Yeah. So it's, America's 250th birthday.com. And so go to your local Walmart. They gave a lot of free stuff. I can't use this stuff. I have to use scent free stuff, but I'm going to find someone to give it to. They got some air freshener and some other stuff in here. Some, Cascade. All right. Some toothpaste, Crest. What else? All right. Just a few items. So some of it, like I said, I'll be giving away. So I hope you enjoyed it. We're done. Tiffany Tahoe. Yeah. Beetlejuice, Brandon Johnson. The list is infinite. Eric Adams. Yeah. I bet she twerks with a, right, Michael? Who does that? And then I told you everything she said was a bald-faced lie. So I'm going to be with the rest of America celebrating. I'm not going with Al Sharptongue. He telling Black Americans to go have their own separate celebration for when they got out of slavery. No. Give a presentation on calling out the Democrat lunatic. All right, Greg. There are many overseers in disguise to get those votes. Yes. Democrats have put a t-shirt 250 years ago. Black. Yeah, Michael, I don't want to be a part of that. Those people are sickening. All right, so we're done. Michael said they were in the helicopter smoking. Woo! I don't doubt it. So we're done. Don't forget, folks, continue to check out. Hey, do something different. Where have you been? Oh my God. I'm seeing some people I have not seen in months. Do something different. I hope life is treating you well. I have not seen you in forever. Oh my God. Welcome, but we're leaving now. So all of you, I thank you. I enjoyed you. Make sure your brother. Okay, thank you, Dee. Make sure for those that haven't been here in a while, the channel, I've been doing shorts. I only do lives Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But what I've been doing shorts because YouTube stopped sharing out my political videos. So let me see. Let me show you. So what I've been doing is shorts on the 60s and 70s, basically, because a lot of us, yeah, Betty, a lot of us are Generation Xers. Some of us are boomers, but the shorts are doing well and I enjoy it. I'm getting a lot of feedback. As you can see, the channel has grown and it is because of the shorts. Rita, yes, do something different. I missed you, Roland. Could be better. Been going through some stuff. Do something different. My prayers are with you, love. I know life does not ask. It just happens. Thank you, Michael. Yeah. Some of the shorts have 1 million views. So the short YouTube shares my nostalgia shorts. They don't share my live political videos. That's okay. Hi and bye, family. Yeah, everyone, I love you. Be safe. Check out my shorts. Hit the like button on the shorts. If you like 60s and 70s nostalgia is mostly what I'm doing. So yeah, check it out and leave a comment. I've been staying up day and night trying to answer those comments, but there are thousands of them. But I am trying to answer as many as I possibly can. So, yeah, Dee's ride service. So let me know if you like the shorts. So far, the ones who've been watching the shorts have been loving them. Miss Connie and my girls. Yeah, of course, I will upload a short probably by 8 o'clock. About 8:30, I'm going to upload another short. I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I may upload 2 maybe. But definitely by 8 o'clock, I will upload a new short. Those of you that haven't been here for a while, check them out. I play a lot of music that we loved in the 70s and 80s. Thank you, Greg. Good evening to you. I love you all. Please remember, be safe. Be cognizant of your surroundings if you're out in public. And I'm coming to talk to you right now. And I'll talk to you until YouTube actually stops the live stream. All right, so I'm coming to talk to you right now.